good look. If you want to go see something exciting, go see some titties. Yeah. That's how you gonna get some booty. Yeah. Oh no, there was actually full frontal nudity from a man too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yes.
What you doing, girl, with all that?
Oh no.
What you doing with all that?
I'm saying.
And my gosh, last week we got into some trouble last week. We decided to do some last minute. Let's pop up at the movie theater.
Yes.
And watch. What did we watch?
We watch Hustlers.
Yeah, we watched Hustlers. Yeah. What are you thinking right now, bro?
I was very happy to go see Hustlers because a couple weeks prior to that, we're talking about strippers and D-boys and how fitting was the title.
Yes. I just was thrilled to see naked bodies on TV. That's just me. I like to see nudity. And it wasn't like scandalous, it wasn't like tacky, and I mean they had different body shapes too, so like it wasn't just one type of body type, it was like different sizes. Like Lizzo was in there, like Lizzo, shout out, she had pasties on and a freaking like mesh sort of.
Yeah, big up Lizzo.
You know, like she didn't give a damn. And then our girl Cardi B, who's just perfection, came through and like she embodied her role, like
she killed it
to a T, like, and she just looked amazing to me. I wish she had more lines.
Me too. You know, Quinn and I were actually discussing that. You know, I was happy to see J-Lo back on the big screen in her element, so to speak, because her element, as you know, she's from the Bronx as well, and you know, for movies like Money Train and whatnot, she kind of has a little more of an edgy element. And then also, I don't know exactly how old J-Lo is. I know she's like
50.
She's looking.
Her body is amazing.
Yeah.
She has the dancer's body, like a trained dancer. She is an example. Like she don't miss a beat. She doesn't look anywhere near her age. Even in the movie, like she embodied so much sexiness, and she carried on a very boss sort of stature. Shorty was holding it down, and I was vastly impressed.
Me too. But we did state that the movie probably would have been a lot doper if Cardi had J-Lo's role.
I think so too. I don't know what the impact would be, because I know like Cardi's not really known to be an actress, right? So it's like, how are you gonna like put someone else in front of someone who's been doing it
for years?
The only thing is that for me, they're both from the Bronx,
right? And
they both have like the same sort of, I guess, history. They're both Latina.
Yeah.
But I think the way that there's a rawness about Cardi B that's just like, it's so raw that it's so real. It's like authentic. Like, like it's not, I'm not saying these lines because whatever, like, you know, she's done this. You know, like she's lived this. So it's like, when I seen her, like I was like, ooh, so she was like, when she talked to that girl, she's like, oh, back off, bitch. I was like, you probably was like that in the club. For real, you was probably telling shorties to get off your tricks, like.
Yeah, she was that bitch in the club for sure.
So there's been this whole thing. I've been watching things like E! Entertainment Tonight and all this stuff. They're talking about this like a girl power movie. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
In a way, I can see where they're coming from. You know, there's not a lot of movies with like, you know, a strong female cast, and you know, like you said, different types of bodies, different ethnicities and stuff like that. So in that aspect, yes, I can see where they're coming from in regards to that and promoting that and wanting to see more of that, especially with what's going on in just music, entertainment, culture, the world as a whole. Like women are becoming more and more prominent and making just as much moves, if not more moves, than a lot of the dudes in the industry. And I'm guessing that a lot of the same thing goes on in Hollywood too. At the same time too, they were kind of under grungy, like they're
acting real bummy.
They were there slipping dudes roofies and stuff and getting to the bread, which Cardi has openly
admitted to in her past.
Yeah, to doing some of these things.
It is a real life hustle. I mean, it's not it's taboo, but it's not surprising when you're in that life. Like people get robbed, people get used. So there was a lot of that. Apparently the main character, that Ramona, the one that J-Lo played, was actually upset
Of how she was depicted.
how she was depicted, because she said that she was never a dancer. So she said it was just like really inaccurate, because the people that actually did the movie didn't come to her directly and speak to her about her role and stuff. So she felt like apparently she's trying to sue them too.
Okay.
For that, because what is it called? Defamation
Of character.
But I don't know, didn't you rob and drug people, or no?
I mean, I guess she's saying there might be more to the story. She's saying that's not exactly how it went down.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And same reason Suge was mad for the way he was depicted in NWA.
Yeah.
A lot of interviews that I've seen and what I heard, they actually did not beat up Eazy in the studio. So like even something small like that.
That's a big deal. Like
Yeah.
for some climax, the thing is like that's the difference between someone getting hate or love mail. Like
Yeah.
if things are being depicted in an inaccurate way, or like someone's not getting a fair shot, that's the difference between people getting death threats and not, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I can understand what.
And then actually having people who hate them for no reason, like don't even
Right.
know them.
Don't even know the true the true story.
But tell me something. So out of, let's say, 1 to 10, the movie on the whole, how do you rate it? Would you watch it again, or would you recommend it to a friend?
Okay, my favorite part, I'll tell you why I'll watch it again,
Yeah.
was Usher.
Yo, you know what? There's a few things that we left out.
And then my favorite part was Usher.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, so
Usher came in, because like they take it back, like I don't know how many years ago, like 10 years ago,
yeah, so 2009.
9-ish, 2000, yeah. So when Usher came into the club, because apparently this was set in the era when like strip clubs was booming, like before the stock market crashed. So this is like the before Bush. This was like the good times, like the Bush era before the stock market crashed.
The market was booming.
Yes. So like people from Wall Street had like gangs of money, and they used to like blow it off inside of the strip club. So mind you, Usher came into the strip club during those times.
Entertainers would be there as well.
Yeah, and they used to attract like a lot of like wealthy celebrities, and these celebrities would spend so much money. But like when he was like, she's like, what'd she say? What's your name? She's like, what's your name? He's like, Usher, baby. I was like,
that was good.
I fell out my chair.
Yeah,
I got so happy, but I got excited.
Yeah, that was J-Lo asking Usher what's his name, and he let him know.
Yeah, it looked like, he had the long chain from like the video, from the Lil Jon video, when he used to swing the chain around his neck.
Yeah, with the U on it.
With the U on it, so that was so lit. I loved it.
So I mean, now that I think about it, there was also another guest appearance. So not only was Cardi in it, not only was Usher in it, but a rapper from the West Coast, G-Eazy, was in it, and he played, I believe, Destiny's boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah, or baby father, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it was good. It was good to see a lot of the hip hop culture and elements in the movie. But I mean, what I mean, like Hustlers, you gotta watch something. I know this is off topic, but it's going back to Hustlers. I'm wondering, and give me your insight. Do you think we're gonna be seeing a lot more movie roles from Cardi, or like the way she performed in that small span of time in the movie?
I think so. I think her star is just starting to get bright. Like you think she's shining now. I think she's just starting to get bright. Like the fact is, she's always surprising people. And who knows? Like it may be similar roles that I would hate for people to typecast her, but she does have a way that she speaks, right? So she'd have to do a lot of training in order to play other roles, And I know she's aware of that, But she has a natural flair to her. She is an artist. She knows how to deliver.
It seems like a quick learner too.
Yeah, and it's very believable. So, like, I respect what she does. I love Cardi B. That's my girl.
Me too. She definitely did a thing in Hustler. What about the dudes? How do you feel about the dudes that were being drugged and taken advantage of, so to speak? A lot of these dudes in the movie were like male chauvinists, wealthy dudes who were somewhat kind of like use the power of them being, financially, well off, and kind of ordering the chicks around and dealing with them in a manner where the girls felt like, you know what, these guys got wives at home, these guys got significant others, let's just take them
for what they got.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if that was my son, I would not be happy. But I would not want something like that to happen to my son, right? but at the same time, I would not have my son conduct himself in a way that would be insulting to women, where they would feel like justified to take those kind of actions, right? Like the strip club culture, like as much as I like love strip club culture and stuff, there's a lot of negatives, a lot of dark side to it, right? So it's like, and we and I were discussing this last week, it's like there's guys that come in there and they don't even think about breaking no paper off. They're not thinking like, oh, they're trying to get as much as they can for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this is these girls' line of work, you know, and then these guys will sit there, come in there and try to violate them in some of the most disrespectful ways, you know, and it changes. It kind of, when as a woman, especially when you're at certain ages and stuff, and that's an impressionable time. Most of these girls are in their early 20s, you know, they're just starting to figure out what dating's about. It changes their perspective of what relationships are, and it becomes just a transactional relationship. And it's like they just gonna be looking at these dudes like, well, you deserve to get used, you know what I'm saying? And then when they do see someone who is good, they don't know how to treat them in the way that they deserve to be treated, because they're programmed to think a certain way. So when I think about how those guys were functioning in that movie, I can understand. That's why I kind of triggered around the whole girl power thing, because it's like, it's one of those things where, yeah, rightfully so, but if the roles were reversed, I don't know if I feel the same way.
Yeah, well, you know, what I got from it was a lot of these girls, and they didn't go too much in depth of how much the girls might be treated, but there were some examples. So it seems as if the guys who were like victimizing women ended up becoming the victims, and the women were just hitting them where their pockets hurt, where the guys were like physically, emotionally,
psychologically taking
advantage and abusing them. Do I feel like it's right that someone should be slipped a roofie and have their bank account drained? No, but definitely some harsh lessons for those men, because this is a real story. So definitely some harsh lessons for those men. And at that point, I guess it was tough for them to report it, because they had family and wives, and they were treating the women unfairly or poorly. So they would have to just, you know.
A lot of the guys didn't want to report it.
Yeah.
I think they
were embarrassed as well.
They were embarrassed, guys. Like, they weren't expecting like what would happen to happen, and they were hit over the head like unexpectedly. You know, they're going out there, like, the reality is the way these girls ran this operation, it was so slick. Like, they just came in there, like, one girl would chop it up with some dude, like, oh, this guy's a clown, yeah, I have bring my girls, and then they come in and they're like, yeah, we're just here to have a good time, and then boom, they're slipping things in the man's drink, they're pretending they're drinking, they're getting this guy plastered, and then before you know it, they're bringing him to the club and then running up his check. And what was, I think, when we're talking about like the guys being embarrassed and like feeling like as victims not being able to say what they say, it happens out in so many situations where girls are taking advantage of guys in that situation. Guys always feel like they can't say what happened, they don't know who to go to, and like they don't want to be laughed at. And I felt like the only reason why one of them in particular felt he could do that and say something is because it went so extreme. Like, these guys didn't give him no wiggle room to get out of his ish. Like, they played with his livelihood so bad.
Well, he was also a dude that was looking for someone to talk to, looking for companionship.
Yeah, he was a good dude. Like,
yeah, went through a breakup, but I guess, like you said, the way a lot of the girls, the dancers are conditioned is that it's hard for them to differentiate. What's a good dude from a bad dude, because the way they've been treated, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's just interesting that and it's a good point that you brought it up, but like Rick Ross had a line in that You Don't Even Know It record, and he lost a whole Reebok deal.
Yes, he did.
Talking about
he lost a lot of endorsements because of that line, with slipping things in people's drinks.
So I mean, you can definitely see the catch-22 there.
Yeah, there's definitely there's an imbalance of power, and it's just because like historically men have been known to do certain things that perpetuate certain predatory behavior, right? Like look at our boy Bill Cosby.
Another yes.
You know what
another
I mean?
case, another incident, right?
Right. So guys do not get the luxury
Did you just call him Bill Cosby? Yo, I don't mean to laugh. I was trying to keep a straight face. Listen, man. You could have put the AKA in there. You could have put the AKA. You could have been like Bill, AKA Bill Cosby. You just call him. Oh man.
Man's name is Bill Cosby. Yo, like no disrespect, but like yo, like man's was slipping things in the girls' drinks back in the day, and it was totally acceptable. Like back then, that was acceptable. Now it's not acceptable. So it's like now they're showing girls who are fully well doing it, and they're calling this a girl power movie. I'm like, yo, that's not acceptable.
That's not acceptable.
Can't do that.
So either part is not acceptable.
That was my son. I'd be so mad.
I agree 110%. Or daughter.
Yeah, I'd be so mad. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, Hustlers for me. Wow. Hustlers for me. I'm not gonna keep going. Like Hustlers for me. Out of 10, I would say I'll put it at like about a 7.5. I like the fact that it's based upon a true story, but it's not all actual factual.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like Shorty was not talking to the other girl on the phone, like,
yeah.
Oh, the girl put her in,
yeah,
snitched on the whole entire operation for no jail time.
Yeah.
And the other girls got jail time.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't like cuddly duddly with Shorty.
Nah. So for that. They made it a Hollywood, picture. I'll put it at a 7. I wouldn't give it the 0.5. I'll give it the high rating of 7 just because I like the fact that Usher's in it. I like the fact that Cardi B's in it. I like this fact that J-Lo was on the pole and getting low. I like the fact that even her being a veteran actress, it was good to see her back on the big screen. Mm-hmm. And there was some good acting in it, and yeah, I'll give it a 7. What you give it?
That was like 7.3.
7.3? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was itching to the 5, you know?
Why the 0.3? They weren't eating no wings in the strip club?
Yeah, you forgot. They forgot to put the wings in the club.
They didn't put the wings in the strip club, so I think had there been some wings, I would have bumped it up too.
That would have got a whole 8 for me.
You feel me?
A whole 8!
So, I would say if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's definitely worth watching.
It's worth watching. I think it's a good look. If you want to go see something exciting, go see some titties.
Yeah.
That's how you gonna get some booty.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was actually full frontal nudity from a man too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was.
For you, for me, I was like, rewind, because it went by so quick. I was like,
you didn't expect it.
Yeah, the guy rolled over and I seen everything was junk. I was like, damn, and then it was done. I was like, that's not fair. Like, why they play us like that? Or play me like that? But the entire theater was like, because that's something you see like
a lot of movies you don't.
Yeah, guys always get the benefit of just walking around, just having their ting covered. But girls, you have to have a little bush.
But it was a movie about strippers. It wasn't about male exotic dancers. They could have left that part out.
It's called equality.
Gotcha.
Like, we only got one. You had like.
Yeah, there was a lot of. Listen, man.
And variety too.
Yeah.
There was different shapes and sizes. Me, I just had one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
I just had one. I didn't feel that was fair.
You know what I mean? I mean, you never know. You might see the Joker movie, right?
You think there's some more?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think so, and I hope not. But in this movie here, you're right. There was a lot of scantily clad women from different ages, different cultures,
different races, different sizes,
different
heights.
Different heights, and that's what kind of made it dope too, because unless you're like in King of Diamonds, you know what I'm saying, or like
which I like KOD.
Yeah, KOD or like certain spots. If you're in a strip club, generally in Toronto and the GTA, you're gonna see. That's what you're gonna see. A little bit of everything.
Variety, yeah. That's the beauty of living in a multicultural city. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Right, Toronto?
Unless you're at Starlets or one of those spots, like if you go across like the majority of these other strip clubs, that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see the slim ting,
the tikkas,
the tick ting,
the Asian ting. Thanks for checking out the Box VLOGCAst.
Yes.
Y'all already know what it is.
Good looking out, big up, and we're looking forward to see you come back from Jamaica and show us some new dance moves and run punch and, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna keep up, eh? My legs them not good no more. Making the style of knees, you know? I need them.
Yeah, man, if we go out there and do it, I have to represent, you know?
Yes, sir.
What you doing, girl, with all that?